Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Franchise Pearson, and welcome again to my channel. It is the 12th of September. It is Friday. I have 11:21 in the p.m. The good Lord is going to have to help me with this one in a deeper sense. I had to go for a drive tonight because there's something that has been stirring in me since the shooting of Charlie Kirk. I brought to you a few videos since then. I utilized Joe Aquaviva's video as well, where he showed that from the time that Mr. Kirk had his first show to the day that he was unalived, it comes out to 666. Now, people, we decode. We bring truth to light. We're called, we're chosen. And we're chosen for these last days. We're about to go deeper in this mystery. Very deep. There's only two possibilities with me in relation to this Charlie Kirk situation. Either it's an outright lie and a fraud, or he was sacrificed. With all my years of being able to see into this other realm, not just with numbers, but to have my spirit attach itself what I'm going through now is that I know this is the end. And it's bigger than whether or not I can prove if it was real or not. And many might even ask, why is that question even coming up? Many of you all saw the video with the blood, how it gushed out of him, but some can say as a doctor, if it hits the right artery, it gushes out like that, Pearson. But then how do you explain that the ring finger, now the finger's on this pinky, how do you explain the shirt with a letter missing? How do you explain when I was able to take the information that one of my followers sent me, and I was able to take Captain Kirk from Star Trek and quote unquote connected to Charlie Kirk? How do you explain that? I've been saying for a while, we're back in the garden. We're back in those first days. I just hear in my brain, as it was, so shall it be. And I hear Trump's comments that Charlie Kirk was something about the same from head to toe. Something he said from head to toe. Did that mean as above, so below? We could go back and forth as to what we think and what we think. I'm glad I went for my ride tonight because I had to pull away. People, when you do this kind of work, you just got to pull away sometime. And there's no time. You just reach a point where you just say, hey, got a time out. Because I know what's coming next. That is, there's something attached to this Charlie Kirk situation. There's someone attached to it. Not that there won't be other big things happen, but there is someone attached to him in this spirit realm. That's the big one. This was a rehearsal, so to speak. This is a barometer. So I came back home, I went straight to the computer, and I noticed that Charlie Kirk's wife was speaking. I'm like, wow. Your husband just died. Give or take a few hours of 2 days ago, and you're speaking. I found that very, 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 very strange. After about 6 or 7 minutes, I just turned it off. I just couldn't. I couldn't get it out of my brain like, Pearson, would you be speaking before the public? I read some comments. She's a brave woman. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I just found it very strange. Something don't feel right, y'all. Something ain't right with this moment. Beyond the day that he was struck. As I was watching it, I saw something. There's Charlie's wife. And then let me show you something. You see that? That's Donald J. Trump. It's right there. That's her. That's Donald Trump. It's Time Magazine. Person of the Year. The date, December 24th, 2024. That's when it came out. Trump was named Time Magazine Person of the Year. Here's the decode. 12/12/24. Tonight she spoke. 9/12/2025. The difference is 274 days. On 274 AD, 274 AD, a leader just like Julius Caesar, Aurelian, he got rid of Christianity and he brought in the sun god, Sol Invictus. I've talked about it a lot. Emperor Aurelian He got rid of Christianity, and in 274 AD, he brought in the sun god Sol Invictus. Translated the Golden Age. You think it's coincidence that she's speaking, yet Donald's right there? And those numbers come out to that? I don't want us to lose sight. I don't want us to lose sight of where we are in relation to history. We in the last days. And we're back in the garden in terms of arguably the greatest deception known to man. That is to bring Jesus in the mix. And take your kingdom. Now, what do I mean by bringing Jesus in the mix? We've seen more than a handful of content creators, a lot Christian. They're talking about Charlie and his faith. And I began to get puzzled. And you might ask, why, Pearson, why are you puzzled? If he's a man of faith, certainly they should be talking about this. Because people, I haven't lost sight of what time it is. You mean to tell me the things that I have brought up in my last few days, the videos and the decodes, they can't see what I see? And Joe's is so simple. Let me bring it up for you. Joe's is it's just too simple. That whether you believe it's a sacrifice or not, it's too simple to look over. And why would not the people that we're listening to on all these alphabet television stations, how come they're not bringing that up? Six years, 66 days. Mr. Kirk's first show was July 7th, 2019. July 7th, 2019. In the day he was assassinated, 9/10. The difference is 6 years, 66 days. I'm not going to get so caught up into whether or not he was a Christian. I pray that he was. But between what I just showed you and the decode I did on Captain Kirk from Star Trek, James Kirk is his name, the character. And Charlie Kirk, his name was James as well. And then I found out the date of Star Trek's first show. And then you got Star Trek's show with that says Charlie X. And then I asked the question, did the guy who played the role of we'll give you his name here. Main character of Star Trek. William Shatner. His birthday is 322, Skull and Bones. And he died in one episode. So I took that episode, the first one of Star Trek, and the one where it's Charlie X. What is Charlie X? I've been teaching you guys X for 4+ years. X is the 24th letter of the alphabet. If you go from Hollywood, Charlie, X, to the Charlie that just got taken out, X'd, you put it together, it's speaking to the now. But everybody's talking about Jesus. So I had to go for a ride because I'm like, if this is what's going on right now, and I'm seeing some heavyweight very influential commentators / content creators who were his friends. Nobody's seeing through this. Nobody's questioning anything. They're just talking about his faith. People, excuse me, but am I missing something? In my decodes alone, it points to, in my humble opinion, that this was about Donald J. Trump. So if they can get away with this, whether it was fake or it was a sacrifice, we can't count on them for direction. At that point, my spirit is like, Pearson, it's going to be millions of people who will be deceived when Donald J. Trump Charlie X. That's the big one that's coming, people. And the division that's going on right about now between Republican and Democrat, and the question of free speech, and you talk about a wedge that's and a division that's growing. The media is feeding into it. I'm like, I wasn't in the mood to do any more videos. I was already shaken by what God has showed me. Thank you, Deborah Rule, for sharing what you shared with me, you and your friend. I was already shaken. There are going to be a lot of signs they're going to play out. People, I just showed you Donald Trump in the background as Charlie Kirk's wife was speaking. That's a sign to me. They got rid of Christianity in 274 AD. That's the aim of the moment. You're watching her, but the focus is on him. I'm telling you what I'm feeling. She's there speaking 2 days after he dies. That's too strange for me. That's too strange for me, people. But I know what this is saying. When I first did camera work, they call this a setting. That's a setting. When you have a room and you stage it a certain way, that's a setting. I believe that was done on purpose. Not that she had anything to do with it. I'm just saying. The golden age is real. When they take out Donald J. Trump, remember, they're running the test as we speak. They're running the test to gauge our reaction of what they can do better to convince us of what we think we see. They got to tweak it just a little bit more convincingly. The July 13th one, with Trump in the ear. Now they got this. And even the one from 11/22 of 1963, JFK. I finally told you guys this year, I think that was fake as well. The gunman who they arrested in relation to Charlie Kirk, Tyler Robinson. You know, there was a Tyler back in the day on December 9th that arrested Luigi, the one who gunned down the CEO, United Healthcare CEO. Remember him? His name was Tyler Fry. That's right, an officer named Tyler Fry arrested Luigi at a McDonald's. What are the odds his last name was Fry? at McDonald's. This is what I'm trying to tell you guys. Don't be deceived. Something going on. And so Tyler Fry was 22 years old, and he got arrested on 9/11. JFK was taken down. He was unalived on 11/22. JFK taken down, unalived on 11/22. Tyler Robinson arrested on the 11th, and he's 22 years old. Do you see what I'm talking about here? This is Matthew 24 on steroids, baby. This is some serious deception, people. But don't lose sight again what you're dealing with. We're in the middle of something. Stay focused. They might have one more before they had a big one, but this most certainly is something else. It might be a plane crash. It might be a JFK moment. God only knows. But they're going to do it. And in my humble opinion, they just had a rehearsal. So you know what the sequel gonna look like. You know what the sequel is gonna look like.